super battlesuit is discharged into space, changing the life of one hapless duck and transforming him into a hero called Wonder Duck.
If I die tomorrow, I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
It's Tuesday's night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Nerds of the Round. It's your boy Sebastian.
We're waiting for Law.
And there goes Law. Wait. Audio Law. Audio. Wait, I can't hear. Oh. Today is Tech Issue Tuesday, and we want to apologize for Law because for some reason they don't want him to talk.
Damn.
Law will be coming back. We love you, Law. Don't worry. We will get this figured out. So it's the boy Sebastian.
You put someone from across the hall. I'm sorry. I tend to wait for the.
Sorry, and this be Mac joining again.
This is why it's fun to go live, because when you have the fun stuff, it's always the tech issues and everything and all that. It happens on live. Don't worry. Law will be coming on. He's right there in the back room. We have a great show tonight because we have a guest that's waiting in the green room with us on a great comic that we're going to talk to you guys about. Just to get it up there, we're going to go through some announcements real quickly.
Real quick, can I say something?
Go ahead.
George's little entrance, that opening was brand new. I loved it. That was great for Wonder Duck. So cool. I didn't know you guys were doing that.
Yeah, I also enjoyed the quack quack.
Yes, quack quack in the background. It was really cool.
Yes.
Just to give George a shout out. It's actually his birthday today, and tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
If you guys tune in to Catch the Craze, they are going to do a live launch of Wonder Duck's Kickstarter starting tomorrow. Yes, on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, it was awesome. George sent it to me because, again, George has been awesome. And it's great to even talk with this creator that's coming out too, because actually George helped out with this comic that we're about to talk about. He actually was the letterer. A lot of people don't know that George, aside from being a writer, he's also a letterer too. So if you're looking for a letterer to hire for your projects, you want to reach out to George Medina. I'll send you guys the information. Let's see. Law, is he back in? Is he back in? He is dancing right there. He's looking. Listen, you can sit there, be a beautiful face too.
Can you talk?
No. Fucking no. That's the settings.
Still cannot hear you.
Try Chrome. Maybe Chrome. I don't know what you're coming in on.
Are you on the phone? Are you on your computer?
He is on the laptop.
Oh, so you can hear us? Thumbs up if you can hear us.
He can hear us, but we can't hear you.
Maybe
changing the device.
Because,
for today.
Are you
changed it twice?
Are you making sure that the mic is picked up?
Coming on the phone.
And then when you do the test on the sound, it goes up when you're speaking?
Yeah, we still can't hear you.
I don't hear shit, man.
I don't.
He's coming in. You can hear you now.
Wait, say that again.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
yes.
we can. There we go.
We can hear you now. Yes, we got to join the Verizon commercial.
All right, there we go. Verizon, pay us. There you go. Verizon Sprint.
We can hear you now. We can hear you now. Is it Verizon Sprint?
I need a drink right now. I need a drink so bad.
We got our guests waiting back, but I want to finish these announcements first because, again, Wonder Duck tomorrow. Make sure you guys are tuning in to Catch the Craze. The Medusa's Cascade every Saturday comes out on Spotify, your favorite podcast. It is a D&D podcast that is still going strong. It's been 2 years going on this campaign. You get to hear me, Law, and so eventually we'll probably rope Val into this. I don't know. One day we'll rope Val as an NPC, stomping people with the boots. So we're gonna get that one day. And yeah, that's it for the announcements. Make sure you tune in to Law's Twitch streams every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So make sure you tune in on that. And Sundays. There we go. Ooh, Sundays. So if you're not doing anything on Sundays, there you go. Just tune in. Let's follow it. Come on, guys. Follow us, please. Support, like, subscribe. Anyway. We have a great creator in the background who's coming on the show. It was actually an honor getting to work with this creator as to help get their vision out there for this comic that they were creating. They're actually looking to eventually possibly turn it into, I'll let them talk to you more about it, but they're looking to turn it into a bigger project, so I'll let her talk more about that. But let's not keep her waiting in the back. Let me now introduce the creator behind Puppet Church, Jeneiene Schaffer. Janine, what's up?
Hey, welcome, Janine. How are you?
Thank you so much, guys. It's good to be here.
Good.
Well, we're gonna call this Technical Support Tuesdays because everybody was having technical issues today.
It's always a nice thing when I watch other people who I look at as tech experts struggle as well.
The struggle was very real today.
We're all human. We're all.
It's the great leveler, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So Janine, welcome to the show. Welcome. Please tell everyone who you are out there, and tell us a little bit about Puppet Church. Give us the 411.
Oh boy, that's a lot to take on. So I'll do it in bite-sized pieces. So hi everybody. I'm here in Las Vegas, doing a work trip, but really very much so a work trip. I'm from Tucson, Arizona, but originally from New Jersey. So I am a producer of a film company called Indie Film International, which is based in Tucson, Arizona. And it has a lot of history, a lot of prestige about film and film history. And so now Arizona is trying to make a big comeback into doing a lot of movie productions and TV series streaming. So I have in my backlog of projects, a number of them, but in the forefront now is a project called Puppet Church. And so I don't know about you guys, what you do in the mornings to get your day going, but I have a lot of coffee and I got on YouTube and there's a series that I listen to called Film Courage. And there's a whole bunch of great stuff. If you're into film, if you're into animation, if you want to break into the entertainment industry, I listen to this every day. So I do that in order to help me because I'm primarily a script writer. And back in the 90s, you could just option a script and you could break in, and it was who you knew and all this other stuff. But now because of the big movie houses that are taking over, I've had to become, from necessity, a producer. So I am now learning as I go kind of deal how to become a film producer and a series for streaming producer, which is what Puppet Church is. It is a 5-season sci-fi episodic series for streaming and hopefully to get on Netflix, HBO. I have some contacts in New York City and in Los Angeles. And so there's a lot of backers watching this. And so as a part of this process to get from a script to the screen, which we could be here all day talking about, what I learned from Film Courage, 2 things. And we're doing both of them, which I'm really excited about. Do a comic and do a podcast. That is what everybody is doing right now when they want to break into the film industry. So a lot of exciting things happened between like 2 months ago and today. I reached out to somebody in Tucson I knew who does movie posters. He's very famous. He said, I don't have the time for you. We're great friends. I love you. However, there's this great guy called Sebastian I'm going to hook you up with to do comics, right? I'm like, comics? Are you kidding me? I mean, I wasn't into comics at that point. So I talked to Sebastian. We had some ideas. A lot of friends of mine who've been into Marvel and DC forever said, here's some comics to read. So long story short, here we are. Sebastian, I am amazed because all I had to do with him is share the script for episode 1. And how I work with creatives is I don't tell them, I don't micromanage. I say, I trust you for what you do. And you do great stuff. So here's my written word. Turn it into a comic. That's all I had to do with you, Sebastian. You're amazing.
That's great.
Oh, thank you. It was fun. And thank you for trusting me with your bid. And just to show everybody, this was actually one of the fun scenes to draw here. I think I did this 3 times.
I love that one. Yeah.
This is actually splash panel for page 5 and 6, which was pretty awesome to do. And it was just done this way to give everyone depth of the 2 different cities that you see there and everything and all that. So it was fun getting to work on that and showing Janine everything and working on that more and all that. But no, thank you for, again, trusting me with it. What up, Jarrell?
What's up, Jarrell?
Oh, it's amazing. And what the backers want to see. So I'm giving you like an insider, like if it matters to y'all, because I'm totally movie nerd and I'm
go for it.
Yeah, no, go for it. Go for it.
And I'm really, trust me, into D&D. Now, I want to say I did D&D in the early 80s. Okay, so all you had was graph paper, dice, the DM, and your imagination. None of this computer stuff. So I really love D&D. I get into that.
Use of Cascade.
Oh yeah, it's fun to see all the different like my daughter now, she's into D&D, so it's really a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's been a great ride, and right. So what the backers want to see, getting back into the nerdiness of making films, is we love your idea, we love your concept. There's a whole ton of competition out there with indie filmmakers, but there's a lot of creativity that's been held in and compacted down because of the pandemic. So now that things are opening up, you probably feel it and see it everywhere you are and what you're doing. People are like, yeah, let's do it. So much energy.
Yeah.
So how to tap into that and how to let the lid up off the steam, right? In a very measured, practical, strategic way. So my backers are saying, yeah, we like your idea. We hear your ideas all the time. Build a following. You have to build a following. And that's where podcasts come into play and comics. So, I do what I got to do. You just got to do what you got to do to get your material, your ideas, your followers. You learn it. You learn it. You hit the ground running.
Taking the steps. Yep.
Exactly. And we're all here creatives, right? All of us here are creatives. We're all here together at this moment for a reason. I like to believe. And I just love how fate has brought us all together, and I'm getting to find out more about comics, more about podcasts, and just it's such a ride,
Good.
Well,
So I was gonna say, you gave us a lot of your origin. Now, can you give us a little bit of the origin for the comic,
Right on.
for the story,
Okay.
rather?
Right.
Because
So let me
you're
first
saying
make
comic
it
and podcast.
clear that a lot of folks off the bat think it's a Christian or religious thing because of the word church. Okay. So it really isn't. So I used to, about 15 years ago, go to a venue downtown Tucson. It used to be really different. It was more street artists, and now it's all built up and very, bougie. But back then it wasn't. So I knew a group of folks who were puppeteers, and every Sunday they had a venue off of Congress Street, downtown Tucson. And every Sunday at 2 p.m. they had puppet church. And they had these antique pews inside this venue. It was really art house scene, right? And these puppeteers would go behind and do a show from an origin story, a morality tale from all over the world, right? And it's not a new concept. I mean, there's all kinds of different varieties of this. So how I turn this into the story itself, the world I built for Puppet Church. I'm really into science fiction from what I call the Atomic Age masters from the 50s and 60s. Isaac Asimov, Ray Bradbury, because they took science fiction, and not just for the wow and pow and kill people and spaceships and laser beams and all this. There was a sense of doom, but a sense of hope. There was a sense of we can do something in our generation. We see this coming, of all the different evolutionary possibilities of science and technology, and we know it can do bad. But we are a sense of hope. And Americans and the Soviets back then were trying to come together to do things for the good of technology and science fiction. So I see that intersect in Puppet Church, where it's 300 years in the future. Planet Earth is now called Planet Origin. And here's why. Because they send people off to different planets that have different skills. Like a planet will be just for growing crops. This planet over here is going to be for entertainment. It's very simple like that. So those worlds are set up on different planets. Each planet has an origin story. An origin story, which is compiled into the sacred text, right? So now here comes the villain. The villain in the story, there's always a villain. The villain is like the evil scientist. He wants to replace all of these origin stories that have now brought order and a sense of purpose back to a civilization that's been torn apart by war, right? For better or for worse, this is how the stability has arisen. But the zeitgeist, it brings us back to what we're experiencing today. Our corporations who want to destroy our environments. commercials who want to take away our stories of who we are and replace them with hairspray, replace them with toothpaste, replace them with things that diminish our water, destroy our air, and all of this stuff, right? So the villain wants to come, and he knows he wants to take over each planet and to replace what they do for the good of the galaxy. He needs to steal that story. He needs to steal that story. And so at the same time, the story lord, not the time lord, now we have the story lord. The story lord is this guy in his 30s. He's the next in line to to take care of all these stories of the galaxy, right? They go to planet Origin, he and his family, because there's a rebellion in place. There's a rebellion against the villain who they sense is about to take over all these planets. So now the story lord and his family of Supreme Seminary come to planet Origin. They set up shop. They build this huge, Taj Mahal thing that Sebastian perfectly put into a comic, right? It's just perfect, right? So all of a sudden, and what you see in scene 1 from the comics, they're all there. They're here to stop the rebellion. They've landed. And now his parents are supposedly killed in an explosion. They're unjustly charged with treason. And so now, like Luke Skywalker, he's got to get the heck out of there. He's got, and that's what he does in this Scarab Beetle spaceship. He takes off, but the puppets, there's a puppet church, right? So the puppets are what's called timekeepers. Okay. In this story, the timekeepers are the lowest of the low. They keep time for their masters, who are the elite, who have gone to the other planets. They're too good to keep time. You understand, time in the future is something that other lowly things do, not us, right? And so in this explosion, they're left behind, the puppets, who are the timekeepers. And so that's how lowly they're thought of. They run towards the spaceship. They get into the spaceship, and they're stowaways. Okay, so off they go, off the story lord goes, and to be able to save the stories, there is a cult of Zero. There's also another inner story called the Cult of Zero that I created. They make these stories for each of the planets. So they are these magical creatures. We'll get more into that. And so
it's just the Time Lord's, or is it the Time Lord's job to keep the stories or the history of the planets going?
Yes.
But they don't find it important. Is that what I'm understanding?
They're being taken over by an influence, right?
Okay.
By this evil influence. And there's a subplot in there where the story lord's mother has an affair with one of the power keepers of Supreme Seminary. And so now that he's getting sick and no longer attractive to her, right? He is now like Darth Vader. He's off to the dark side. There's a lot of similarities between Star Wars and this.
Mm-hmm.
The power plays, the depression and sadness that comes from not getting what you want in life. So now you're more susceptible to
being manipulated.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. You're
Got
right.
it.
Yep. So now, go ahead, Sebastian.
No, I so with getting to work on this thing, because again, what was really great about and challenging about this project that I want to put out there is that you had wrote this in screenplay format.
Yeah.
So it was getting to work on this and having to be the director in some form of way and creating the scenes, because it wasn't traditional comic written. So that's why I was like, with doing this panel right here, this was one of the many panels. That's like, you gave me the idea for it is, and you sent a great thing too, where it's let people know, like Abbott Bobbit, which appears right there in the bottom middle panel, was fun to do, because again, you was like, just think Lord Barros from I'm not saying it right, am I?
Oh, Lord
Varys, yeah, from
Varys?
Yeah.
Varys. Oh,
yeah, Lord Varys.
Seabass.
Okay.
I know. I butchered the name. Listen, if you guys have seen the Game of
Jesus
Thrones,
Christ.
I butchered everything.
They don't need
Oh,
to
the
see
law
it.
had
It's coming in August.
Oh yeah, we're gonna butcher
yeah.
names again. But no, it was fun.
You're going to, not we.
Yeah. Thank you, Val, for that distinction.
Yeah. We're gonna
You
butcher
know,
it now.
That's
yeah,
all you,
I'm
Sam.
gonna butcher it yeah. Anyway, but no, it was kind of fun to really be to give like again, the mother is in the top is in the middle right panel, and it was coming up with the concepts for the characters and everything. That was fun to do, and again sending them to you and all that. One of the potential figures right there in the top left, he was fun to work on too. That was what's his face, I'm bad with the name right now, Lord. That
It's
was
okay. It's okay.
Vorg. It
It's
was Vorg. Chester von Vorg. That's what it was.
Chester von Vorg. Yeah,
Yeah.
the one that goes to the evil side. Yeah.
So it was fun to work on that. Made him look a little older, and again, it was also a great project to work on with playing with different styles and all that. But
Exactly. Like if you guys have seen, Firefly, right? It's a lot. There's a steampunk aesthetic to this as well. I wanted to bring out, and so we're going to have a lot of that going on for aesthetics and style. And every episode is just going to be they go from planet to planet and trying to save the stories without a lot of violence. They have to use their intelligence. So there's going to be something called the Storyverse.
Mm-hmm.
There's Egyptian amulets and magic. All right. And so when they get into the Storyverse, that's when Puppet Church happens. So that's when, through the storyline, we get to hear the origin story of that planet that they're trying to save, right? Of that story. And as they go through that process, the story is saved from that planet. Yeah.
So is it so when you say like we hear the story of the planet, so is it kind of like a mix of an anthology because we hear that planet's story and then that, it's kind of brought back into the main storyline?
Correct. It's concurrent. So the drama of the characters mirrors the drama that's going on the planet and that story.
Okay.
So I bring it all together coherently and as simply as possible because, with you and the audience, I'm talking about why it matters to me and the structure of this. But you want it to be entertaining. You want people to watch it and have fun. So you don't want to get too deep. You don't want to get too technical. But as nerds, we love this stuff, right? But for somebody just watching it, you just want them to lay back and relax and enjoy a good ride,
Yeah.
You sold me when one of the characters was named Buddy Vegas. I was like, oh.
Everybody loves that name.
Yeah, he was.
I'm hearing that you pulled a lot of different references as far as the inspiration for it, from like Star Wars to Firefly. Were there anything else that you think that inspired some of the things that you put into this story?
Yes, there is a very famous science fiction book called A Canticle for Leibowitz, and not very many people have heard of it. I mean, you have to be really into the Atomic Age Masters of the 60s and 70s and 80s. And it's what helped me to create what's called the Cult of Zero, these beings that created the stories for all these planets. And A Canticle for Leibowitz basically is there's an apocalypse. Like there's always some kind of apocalypse going on with these kind of stories. And in the remaining, what's left of the shards, they get together, they go digging through the sand and the shards of what's left. So they see a picture, like a little shred of Michelangelo's Autonomy, an anatomy figure, right? And they find shreds of physics somewhere, and then they try to piece together a new civilization based on the shards of what they found in the past one. And at the same time, we're human beings. How can we not repeat the mistakes of the past? It's just cycling up. It's amazing and fascinating for a story.
Right. I just can imagine. It's also, where do you derive what's actual truths over what people interpret it? So it's also very interesting there, because interpretation is different for everyone.
Correct, Bill. That's a great point. Because another thing I want to bring up, which is important to me, I have a daughter who's going to be turning 19 soon, and and all of her friends. I love being a mom. It's one of the best things I've done in my life. And what I have found is that a lot of young people have lost they're not taught stories. They don't read stories. They don't know stories. They don't know where they're from. They don't, and without knowing where they're going, excuse me, to know where they're going, they have to know where they've been, you know? Yep. And so they're groundless, they're aimless, and it's not their fault. They're very passionate, smart young people. So another thing with Puppet Church is how this is the zeitgeist again. There's the corporate takeover and all that stuff. But on a very human level, we need to remember who we are and where we came from to know where we're going to go next.
Yeah.
It's absolutely essential.
I like that when you wrote the script, you do capture that too, and it was fun to try to capture that in the story in the comic where that whole thing with the city, you wanted to show, and we had that conversation, the difference between the two cities, where you had the old Western-looking rundown city on the outside, but then you had this Citadel city that again was very inspired by the Taj Mahal and all that. It was fun to do that too with trying to make it look like this futuristic version with the thinking about how would the architecture look for that to type of separate. One of the things, so you put out, it has this what's it called, steampunk aesthetic to it. But what was fun to do too was to do the steampunk aesthetic, but also to mix like, you know, a little bit of what with this type of futuristic, and I think what helped too with the idea is that recently we had Dune come out. Dune actually playing lights and all that and everything, so that was fun to do that, to bring that world to life. And then you were like, when there was a scene I drew with the old, when you were like they're coming in like these vehicles, I was like, well, it'll be cool, these old fashioned Jeeps that these soldiers that are in this high tech gear, they're coming out, and you know, we don't know what they're coming in there for. And then, I mean, the first issue was fun to do, dividing the first script into a bunch of issues, because we talked about it, labeled it book 1 issue 1, and then script 2 would be book 2 issue 2 with Puppet Church. And it was just, again, I thank you for
how long would the, well, this sounds like multiple series within one series. Would it be one continuous story, and if so, how long more or less are you thinking?
You want me to answer that, Sebastian?
Go ahead. It's your series. I'm just the artist. And first, I want to thank Michael Gracia, because Michael Gracia was the person that connected us. So, guys, thank you, Mike.
He's the best, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah. So, I want to also make sure, I'm so excited by this. I just recently took a tour. I'm going to get back to that, Sebastian, if you'll allow me to.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. So I took a tour of Old Tucson Studio. Now, for people who are not familiar with that, in Tucson, Arizona, this is the set and settings of all the most famous westerns of John Wayne and all that stuff. Like, I'm not really into all that stuff, but a lot of people are, and it put Tucson on the map, right? So they've been closed down through the whole pandemic. New owners came on. We hope to film Remainder Town, what you're talking about, at Old Tucson Studio. So nice. I know, exactly. Yeah.
I'm excited to see that come to life, because it was fun trying to bring that town to life, when you were like, yeah, you have the kids on the street that they're just you know, they're begging, you have the people that's walking by, and just like, what was interesting to do about that town too, because I was thinking about, like, you know, how it old, like, so I was thinking, like, you know, either concrete house, wooden houses, the saloons and everything. So that was fun to do, and just to create that whole scene.
It sounds like a lot of the past being represented in 300 years in the future.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's just this repetitive thing that we talked about with the Canticle for Leibowitz. It is the repetitive cycle of humans building up civilizations, destroying them, and doing this over and over and over. So thank you, Phil, for that opportunity to bring that back in. And as far as the series length and cutting it up into pieces and how that works, one of my potential backers that's actually in Manhattan. So he said to me, for me to think about this and take your project to, they want to represent me with an agent, right? And that's our next step with this. I want to see, because new series now, they have to have legs. We want to see it go out beyond one episode, one season. I've had to build this into 5 seasons with 8 episodes each, which was good for me because now I have these huge post-it posters on my wall. I have a room in my house that's just for my writing. So I have 45 episodes all worked out, and I know how the whole show starts and ends, and I've worked it out to each season. So Sebastian had a great idea. He said, "Let's do." Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Each episode will have 5 comics, right? And so, each episode will have 5 comics.
Yeah, like 4 to 5 comics because it's
Mhm.
it's a lot of stuff that's in there. And to condense all that into one a 15-page issue, there was
You lose a lot.
loss. Yeah, there was a lot
Right.
that's going to be lost. So episode 1 is book 1, episode 2 would be book 2, and then issue 1, issue 2, and then that was the whole thing there. And then it was really interesting because like when I was reading the script, I saw where each issue would end, and with this issue was spoiler warning, but again, everybody go to the description. The link is there. It ends on a nice big bang.
That was amazing. This is why I'm so excited how this is all working out. Your vision, I couldn't do it any better. I truly could not have. You're the comic artist, and I'm the writer, and both of our minds kind of melded together of how this was. And, when you work with creatives and you just let each other do what you do, right? Some amazing stuff comes out of it. So I've learned to step back and let things organically happen together, and that's where that magic happens the best.
Janine, we want to thank you for
yeah.
definitely coming on and sharing
Thank you.
the church with us. Guys, the link for Puppet Church is in the description. You can read the first issue for book 1, issue 1 now. It's up on there. When book 1, issue 2 comes out, definitely follow Janine to get those notifications. Janine, we want to thank you again for coming on to Nerds Around, sharing that with us. Again, have fun in Vegas. Thank you for coming on. And
Oh yeah, it's only 6 o'clock, so you've still got the whole night to go.
Oh, I know. And all my colleagues are our most famous refrain is, "Hey, if you need bail money, call me."
Hilarious.
But thank you for coming on. Again, guys, the description, it's in the description. But in the meantime, what we're going to do, so that's we walk Janine out, we are going to play it was up here. What we're going to do is we're going to play Wonder Duck one more time because we love George. And again, this is a shout out because George Medina is also again the letterer
He did a
for
great job.
Puppet. Yeah, he did it. George is doing a phenomenal job. He's working on my personal comic, which we'll talk more about down the line. He worked on Puppet Church, and again, tomorrow he is dropping and Wonder Duck, the Kickstarter. So Wonder Duck is starting tomorrow. So Janine, thank you again, guys. We are going to play Wonder Duck, and then we're going to come back and talk about Halo and Moonknight. So let's play it.
Thanks so much, Janine.
Thank you, Janine.
Thank you. Thank you.
As a result of a war in an alien planet, a super battle suit is discharged into space, changing the life of one hapless duck and transforming him into a hero called Wonder Duck.
So if I was holding up the book for Wonder Duck, there we go right there. Oh man, we're excited, man. It's finally dropping.
I have to dig. It's in my my comic collection with all the rest of you guys' comics.
Thank you, George. I don't know if you're watching now, but thank you, George.
Oh, George is celebrating the birthday today too. So again, he is celebrating the birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Best of luck.
bastard.
Wow. That's not coming from me, George. That's not coming.
No, he knows it's coming from me.
Oh, he knows.
He knows where it's coming from. He
I know.
All the love shade always comes from me.
You wrote the ones you love. That's it. There we go. So again, guys, with Nerds Around, now we're getting into our pop culture segment because we're going to be talking about Moonknight and Halo. Because again, these
what are we getting into first? Because
I
we
let's
got a
get it.
lot of
Let's get it.
mixed reviews on
Let's get into
on
Moon Knight first because I'm more excited to talk about Halo. Yes, you heard it from me. I'm more talking about. But first of all, again, we want to thank Jeneiene Schaffer for coming on.
Yes, Janine, thank you.
Thank you
Yes.
Thank you so
again
much
for
for
coming on
sharing.
and chatting about
Yes.
the church.
Interested to see where Puppet Church goes. I'm excited for that.
Indeed.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
And
Oh yeah.
congrats to you, Seabass.
Yeah.
Excellent job, brother.
Yes.
It was a great lesson learned because it's like working from a screenplay script to doing a comic. It felt like sitting in a director's chair because you had to come up with each scene. Because like the big difference from working on a comic, because working with Ari, working with Raven, they write out the panels on how they want everything. This was different. So it's like you didn't have, okay, how do I make this pen? I had to create those in my head, but it was fun. It was really fun. And
That's
again,
a good muscle to work out, man. So
Yeah.
that's especially when you're, in that aspect,
It
especially when
gives
you
you more
start working
control, the creative content of the control, and if it works and still can deliver the story, it's a great job.
Yeah, she said that everybody's been giving positive reviews and everything. So it's like, again, the focus was try to take the reader's eye from one panel to another. But do we want to Tony?
No,
or do you want
no,
you want
there's
Val?
no- there's
No, there's no
spo-
spoilers.
I just feel like the spoilers for fucking Moon Knight aren't good.
Wow.
I just
Right, Pong. I'm gonna fight with Seabass in a minute, Pong. Don't worry.
Listen, like, I just don't think the spoilers for Moon Knight are like. I mean, I guess
I mean,
we
we
finally
should still give a spoiler
we-
warning
we
because
still-
we are putting it
All
out.
right, all right, here we
Fine,
go.
we'll give the spoiler warning. Fine.
Here,
What?
here,
Oh
here,
no,
here.
wait, that's not what we're doing.
All right. Well, I'm not going to do the patented spoiler warning, but we are talking about the penultimate episode of Moon Knight, episode 5. We're going to be talking about everything, diving in. You know how this show goes. We go right for the jugular when it comes to these spoilers. We find out why Mark is the way he is. He had an abusive mama, and he is Jewish, but it feels like they just added that he's Jewish because the comic book said it, and we're not talking about any of the other things that make him Jewish, like his father being a Holocaust survivor and all those other things. So we'll see, and we'll discuss all of those fun things. But I will tell you, I promise you, and you can keep me to my word. I promise I will give you a legitimate tone spoiler warning for Multiverse of Madness because it will be worth it.
That's gonna be great. I
It will
can't
be
wait.
worth
This
it.
weekend it's gonna be amazing.
I miss doing a legitimate spoiler warning because Moon Knight has not done it for me. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, Aunt May died. Let's get to it.
Even dies. Thank you, Pong.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I actually enjoyed this week's episode of Halo more than I am enjoying Moon Knight.
So this is my thing. I don't hate. So I don't hate.
I don't
Moon
hate
Knight.
the show. I don't.
I think 6 episodes to do whatever you're trying to do clearly feels to me like it wasn't enough. And then you have your last episode and you get the headlines of like record-breaking episode length, and then you read it and it's not a good record break, it's a bad record break. It's a 46 minutes is episode 6. We all Michelle's coming in for Val. That's why Michelle's coming in every Tuesday.
That's my girl. That's right, Pong. Appreciate you. Blasphemy, Michelle. I'm totally against.
I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't think the 6 episode formula for whatever Moon Knight is trying to accomplish, I don't know if it's going to hit the mark. I think
but you're
longer
prejudging
episodes
before we've even seen the last episode.
We are waiting for the last episode.
I'm waiting.
It's that scary moment. Episode 5 felt like it should have been episode 4 for me.
Episode 5 was great. Like as a standalone episode in the series, episode 5 was really good, and we finally understand why Mark is the way he is.
Right.
But then we're going into episode. But I feel like, to Seabass's point, that's usually like at the top of the hill. We figure out why the person is the way they are. Then you're setting up to deal with the issues, and then we have the last episode. But it feels like we're missing. Like I think this should have been 7 episodes. We get this whole thing on the afterlife. Then he is becoming Moon Knight because if I recall in that comic book run from the psych ward, he finally comes together with his personalities to truly become a person. And sure, he's doing that now with Steven, but now we're only getting 1 episode of that fully compounded Mark. And then we also don't know what's in that 3rd sarcophagus. Like, is it Jake? And if we're going to see Jake on episode 6, that feels like a letdown to me.
I don't think they wanted to make it about Jake, though. I think that Steven is a strong enough personality that's been able, and we start the show off with Steven rather than Mark. And I think that is something that they gave us well enough. You guys are prejudging without seeing the last episode. Do I feel like it could give us more? However, maybe a little bit. However, it's doing well for what we're getting. We set expectations on Marvel shows and expect them to be. Why can't we enjoy what we're getting? I mean, it's not being done wrong. It's not being done bad. They're living up to the story for the most part and giving us something we've never seen out of Marvel. This man has actual mental disorder, and we're able to dive into something that we don't normally get to see.
You know what? I think I'm more critical of it because we're not getting for what we understand. We're not getting a season 2 because of how they want to put it out there, and it's considered a miniseries. So if you don't want to do all 3 personalities in season 1 because that's going to take us out of it, I'm here for that. Shit, you end season 1 with it being Jake, and you're like, oh shit, I can't wait till season 2. But the fact of the matter is, we're only getting 1 season, and then we don't know when Moon Knight's going to show up and where his character is going to be. And I think that's my big gripe with it, is that I like where we're going, but because, and I could be wrong, we could be getting a season 2, and they're just doing that to put it up for Emmy for the Emmys, because Oscar Isaac is acting his fucking ass off.
Yeah, he is.
In a one-man show, like, to
It's
give that man the credit, the kudos. But if we're not getting a season 2, it
does
just feels. I just feels like I wish we had
liking
more.
it determine if we're going to get another season. I don't think it's us who determines. I think the studio is going to determine if there's need for it.
I think we may not get another season of Moon Knight. This could be his origin movie, and then we move into another origin character and another origin character, and they tie them all in to something that will get greater.
That's go ahead,
I think that would make more sense to do. Maybe they want us to figure out who Moon Knight is for people who don't know the comics, for people who's never, all they know is the MCU verse. So if you're introducing this character and what he comes behind, if this is an introduction to him, would be a great way to segue into an introduction of another character, and then again eventually tie him in to a group kind of thing that Moon Knight's been on. I can't think of the name right now.
I mean, you could do a Midnight.
We've been talking Midnight Suns for a while now. I was going to ask, because you guys were saying that, like, this episode should have been an episode earlier. So if you cut an episode from earlier this season, what episode would you have cut?
I would have cut episode 3. I didn't think 3 needed. I mean, for me, is this. I like the show. I like the characters. The acting is good. Oscar Isaacs and Ethan Hawke are doing their thing. It's just episode 4 and episode 5 kind of threw me off of a loop, because usually with the formula, and again, like however you say, like, it's going to come down to the 6th episode. I feel like there's going to be a lot of unpacking. And yeah, we could possibly see where Moon Knight fits into the MCU after this episode, if we're going to continue the story. We already know that, like they said, Hawkeye and Moon Knight, they aren't, it's one and done seasons with them because they want them up for Emmy contentions. Moon Knight can come back possibly in another show. We don't know what the plans they have for them. I just think, as an audience member being introduced to this character for the first time, which we are, like, how to your point about, yeah, this is an origin story for the character. It's also too, it's for me, you're throwing out all these hints to a third personality. We haven't seen anything about that third personality. We've only gotten hints, like with the sarcophagus that was in episode 4, and I feel episode 4 and 5 should have been combined together, and it goes down like they probably should have had at least one more episode. It just, I guess, being burned in the past with shows.
Do you think this would have been better as an 8 episode like series?
It's like a 7 or 8. Yeah,
I think an 8 episode would be great.
Yeah.
I think the is so important. So, like,
I would also prefer if they did it all in one shot rather than week to week.
Yeah, that's true. But Disney knows how to keep them coming back.
That can actually take care of the pacing issue that a lot of people had with the series.
Right. Because it goes up and down. And if this wasn't something that we saw consecutively like a movie, I think people would be more receptive to the pacing.
That would be wild, Pong.
There have been people thinking that we have seen Jake seen Jake in the room with Ethan Hawke, the one that was all punched up.
Oh, interesting.
That was something I heard about, and that we have seen, because the way they're making it seem is that he's only in the room with Ethan Hawke when he is going through an episode, and he's not like being able to he's not able to confront his personalities. because because when we see Steven and Mark go back, it's when they're going through that whole, like, I think Mark like starts slapping himself, and then he goes back and he's fighting Ethan Hawke, and I think something happens with Steven. He goes back and he's like, "Oh, I haven't seen you." So it could be Jake who's kind of trying to get out.
It could be. That's something. Also, there's so many gaps of things that we haven't seen yet that I'm hoping we will see in this last episode, alongside, finalizing him obviously beating Harrow and getting the Khonshu out.
That's a lot.
We'll see, but
Interesting. Well,
or Bushman. That's
still assuming that that they're using Lockley as the violent character that was the one that essentially killed Layla's dad.
Right. Yeah. I think that, I don't know if he's the one that killed Layla's dad. However, I do think he is the more violent character that they need. I still think the mercenary, they're going to keep that as the partner who killed everyone. However, I don't know. It could go either way. I hope they would keep it that way, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's just they like you said. I feel like there's going to be a lot that they have to unpack in that last episode. If there is, because again, they've been hinting at a third personality this whole season, and we only had seen hints. And the whole thing with the parents, so like I said, I feel like episode 5 should have been episode 4. Episode 3, I could have cut out. Some of the parts in episode 4 could have been done in like episode 3. Where they're going to find the two.
So a question,
the freedom of Khonshu.
So a question for the group, right? So we know that unfortunately the actor who plays Midnight passed away, and I don't know if they had to go back and re-edit anything because his character was going to have a larger role in it, and maybe that's kind of the I don't know the timelines. I know like he passed away like a number of months ago, and I don't know if it had affected the screening and the editing and all that.
I was looking at it a while ago. I think when we first mentioned him, he didn't, as far as I can tell, he only made barely 5 appearances in the comics. So this might be one of those things where the MCU is trying to make a bigger character of a character. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It also is someone who, so far, we've had such a minor role in that it wouldn't be an issue of being recasted.
Yeah.
Steven kills me, has to check. Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Steven.
Well, Steven has, we've seen a darker side of Steven in the last episode.
Yeah.
Defending Mark, making sure that he's there for him. I think that I thought we would get Jake in this last episode, especially when they're trying to balance the hearts. You're incomplete. So I'm thinking you have to now identify this third thing that we're not seeing. I was disappointed we didn't get that, but I'm not mad at how it turned out. Him becoming one, Steven going over the boat, the overboard, and now was able to be balanced in order to come back, or something to that effect, from what I understood. I just would have liked for them to introduce the third personality. However, if we even get it, maybe we're overthinking it.
I mean, the episode itself was this would have been the perfect episode to introduce the third personality. But it's like, again, when you're hinting at it, when he was like, Steven, what did you do? He's like, I didn't do anything. When you're hinting at that, and then when the 4th episode, when they show the sarcophagus and
my first episode. So what is the other option? So, like, let's say we never get Jake, and let's say it's not Jake.
It's Khonshu.
It's who?
That's
Khonshu.
Yeah, that's what Mom said.
But like, is it worth it? It doesn't. To me, it does. At this point, to me, it doesn't matter if it's Jake, Khonshu, Bushman. The whole point is, like, we have this mystery of this third personality because of the blackouts, and does it feel worth it to drop it on the 6th episode? It should have been something we got in the penultimate episode, and then we have our hero be fully whole, because it feels like they're just waiting for the beat to drop, and like we're all anxiously waiting to find out what's behind that sarcophagus, who's doing all these killings. Like it's in the back of your mind, like, when are you gonna tell us this? Because you've been feeding it to us. They were dripping it to us little by little, and then we got to the psych ward, and you saw a sarcophagus. They both looked at it, and they were like, nah, fam, keep it pushing. And then we never go back to it. And so I would.
What if it's
I would
just
hate.
Khonshu needing to be released?
Is
I mean, that could. It could be.
Could be.
It could 100% be, and maybe we're
are they just
overthinking
doing
it,
a
like you
Chekhov's
said.
gun kind of thing?
Because I think Khonshu is still
Maybe.
something that's a part of him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting how they wrap it up with this episode, because it's definitely been one of the different Marvel series.
There's a
In
lot
terms-
to do in one episode.
It's a lot to do, and
It's-
I'm hoping they give it to us.
You have to bring him back to life, get Steven back, stop Harrow, and
That's
Get
it.
back
release Khonshu.
Khonshu.
Get
Get
back
back
Khonshu.
Khonshu.
Stop Harrow and
Save, and give us if there's a third personality.
Save
Yeah.
the cheerleader, save the world. Oh man, yeah. I don't know. It feels like it's a lot to unpack. For me, it's like this. I guess like with looking at what we've seen with a lot of the other Marvel shows, like they've been able to get things done and unpack in each episode. It wasn't that question like, okay, what is the end game? With this
Yeah.
one, there's been a lot of that question. Like I said, I've been enjoying the series, but it's one of those series where it feels like, I hope it's just like, oh, we're just gonna leave it like this because the character's gonna appear somewhere, and we don't even know where the character exists in the MCU because there's been no real MCU references and all that.
I think Loki did it really well in
Interesting.
Yeah.
regards to cascading reveals and just
Mhm.
escalating everything, because we know we're getting a season 2 of Loki. Like we
Yeah.
know we're getting it, but the way it ended, even if we didn't get a season 2, we know that the whole thing was about Kang, and we know that Kang is showing up earlier this time too now because they switched the release dates. And I think it did it so well because all the little things, like we found out about the sacred timeline, we found out that they're fucking robots. Then we go into we find out what happened when everyone gets clipped. We find the other Lokis. That all goes, and you end it with the house, and we find Kang, and it's just like all these reveals happen. You get your answers, you get your questions answered, and then new questions come in, and you get those answered. And I feel like with this show, we're finally getting some answers, but we're still waiting. So like overall, I like this episode. I thought we find out why Mark is, and I think we definitely needed it as an audience.
Mhm.
Finding out where the DID comes from, why Steve is the way he is. Like, before I was talking about like Steve is the perfect person for Layla because he likes everything that she likes and the Egyptian and the poetry. And now it's like, what's this fascination for Steve and his mother, and why is he so like happy go lucky, and like you get it all. So I think it's just last episode syndrome for me, I think, at this point for it.
I was a little confused so behind the room when Mark and Steven are a kid, and the mother comes in with the belt. This is where the first time he manifests Steven's personality is
Yep.
what I'm understanding. However, why use Steven's personality to take the beating? Who's supposed to be the nice side of you? Who's supposed to be the oblivious side? That part didn't make sense. And then he doesn't remember that part at all of his mother being that way.
Yeah,
Right.
that confused me.
So
too.
it was
a little.
it may I think there's something that they didn't explain well there. Maybe it was something where he initiated the process of his mind breaking, maybe. However, it didn't fit that Steven was there instead of
It would have fit if it was someone
Hold
else.
on. So Jacob's personality that does the dirty work. If it was Contra, they would got him out to help. Both Mark and Steve are like, that's not a question I need answered.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're ignoring Jake because Mark doesn't want to deal with that, and he seems to have created Steven and Jake as yin and yang.
Yeah, Black Blood Chips or Javal's point. Yeah, it's like that whole thing was like he created.
Maybe
Do
it
you
was
think
Jake.
Jake was created that far back?
I think that Jake was probably first because this kid harboring anger about losing his brother and then his mother treating him like crap the entire time. I think the angry side as a child is what will manifest before the part of him that feels like his mother's a saint.
Yeah, and that's where it did not make sense for Stevens to be in that part. It's like, oh, you create it would have made sense that they were like Jake was created for that part. The one taking the beatings, the one getting the abuse, the one who saw that, because this whole thing, Steven thinks his mom's a saint. Steven thinks the mother is alive. Steven doesn't remember that mom died, but it's like they show that she was always
like
put into
that. That's
Steven.
not what she was. Yeah. I think that was one of the things that was conflicting, story-wise, and I think that was probably Jake manifesting, and Steven didn't understand what he was seeing, and Mark doesn't want to acknowledge it. I think it's a side of Mark he doesn't want to acknowledge because it's his darker side.
Yeah. It's
Especially
gonna
when
be,
you have to be a mercenary. I mean,
but it's gonna be interesting where they go with this last episode. It's like,
we shall see.
so is there anything else that we want to cover for tonight? Maybe it was.
I don't. Yeah. So like, I want this to be a great series, and I feel like they have to pull the fucking like biggest grand slam hit right now. Like, I don't know.
So the verdict's still out for you.
Yeah, like I love
the
it.
verdict seems to be out for each of you guys.
I mean, I'm still waiting for the last episode. I mean, we still got one more episode. I'm gonna give my final opinion when this last episode comes out. I'm just saying that it's just you. I feel like I don't know where they're going with the show.
Where does this rank for everybody currently in terms of the like shows that we've gotten so far?
Right now, it's teetering on a 7 to 6, but
no,
again,
like how high on that list of shows?
How many shows do we have?
Loki and WandaVision are at the top.
Yeah.
To me, Loki, WandaVision over Loki for me. What else have we gotten so far? I'm trying to think.
We got Winter Soldier, Falcon, Winter Soldier. We got Hawkeye, and we got What If.
Okay, all right. So Wanda, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and then Winter Soldier. For me,
I put this at the bottom of the list right now.
It's on the bottom. It's on the bottom tier.
For me, it's second to last.
It's on the bottom tier. I can't give it a number, but I can tell you it's on the bottom tier.
Yeah, I like because I'm just excited for Doctor Strange. Yep, yeah, we all
are. Yes, exactly.
Which we're gonna be told about next week.
Yes.
Oh man,
I already have my tickets. I'm going on Saturday.
Oh, same. I'm going Saturday at 1.
I will be seeing it on Sunday. I just gotta get my tickets, but it will.
Bro, it's probably sold out.
We live in the sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you'll be fine.
I'll check right now.
You'll be fine then. You'll be fine.
I gotta still get tickets myself, but
I doubt people are going on Mother's Day to take mothers to go see. I'm taking my mother-in-law.
You'd be surprised.
Yes, they are.
I saw Civil War on Mother's Day. And I got lucked out that it happened to be a movie about moms, you know? I got lucked out, you know? Actually, surprisingly, all the major Marvel movies tend to come out between Jackie's birthday and our anniversary. So like even when we saw Endgame, because Endgame and Infinity War came out like at her birthday, and I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, we're going out to dinner for your birthday, and we're gonna go to wherever you want to go, and then we're gonna see this movie that I want to see at midnight. But you know, so like I'd have a button down, a whole to do, and then I would pay the bill. I'd go to the bathroom, my button down would be open, and my Thanos shirt would be on. So like.
Clark Kent style. Yeah, let's rip that open.
But no, like, you know, but they owe all the major ones. Like,
it's a good season because it's around the springtime. It gets warmer. People are going to be in the theaters more. It's perfect timing.
We're at the beginning of that sweet spot of summer movies. That's what it is, and everybody's going to be dropping them. So now the next...
where's the ranking for you? I got a ranking. Am I the only one who?
So I would say Moon Knight is like towards the bottom. It is not my bottom, but it's towards the bottom.
What's your bottom?
I don't know. So I have to say like Loki, Falcon Winter Soldier up there for me. Wanda are like top 3.
You got Hawkeye and What If left.
Hawkeye, What If are like somewhere in the middle-ish, I feel like. And then where else are we at? What was the other one?
Winter Soldier.
I already put that.
He says on the top, so it essentially might be the bottom one then for you.
Yeah,
it might be. Yeah, it might be. And I don't think it's like bottom in terms of like it's terrible, like it's the worst thing in the world. But by comparison to what we've been getting, like,
yeah.
What I would ask before you guys make a final decision after the last episode, rewatch the entire thing.
Wanda, Loki, What If, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, Winter Soldier. Wow.
I agree.
A lot of Winter
Hung-
Soldiers at the bottom.
Hung is on my side here, with the exception of Moon Knight and Hawkeye being switched. But
I just think. Well, I think.
Hawk
Winter
doesn't count this week because he ain't on.
No, but like
listen,
Winter
Hung and I,
Winter
Michelle and I, they're my guys. That's
Winter
it.
Soldier is fun and all, but Winter Soldier, like if you look at a lot of the top ones, like there's like some real issues going on, like a lot of stuff. Where Winter Soldier's literally, and I got nothing against it, but it's like it's an action movie. It's
it doesn't
an action
have
movie. It's a popcorn
the
flick.
content, the feeling that I like with WandaVision. I was emotionally attached to that show. I'm a big
I don't
mutants
know.
person.
There was so like when we were talking about the struggle of what Sam was going through and what Bradley went through beforehand.
Yes,
that's true.
Yeah, I think what was a Winter Soldier was going to be a hit.
Okay, maybe Hawkeye might be last.
Why did you do that?
No, but I love Hawkeye. Hawkeye was actually very good. You know what? They're all good.
They're all good.
And Hawkeye gave us Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin in the MCU officially.
Look, they're all good. It's just that I'm not saying they're all bad. It's just like if you have to pick one that you like more than the other. Like that's we're not ranking the Star Wars movies here, people. Like we're ranking pretty solid TV shows. It's just
it's true. It's true.
I love the Star Wars movies, but like they're not all good.
They're not all that great, but the nostalgia, the story, the back, everything else.
That's why when someone says like, "Oh, I like Phantom Menace," you almost have an aneurysm and you excommunicate them from your life, right? Like,
say that. Who would say that?
Like I watched the Phantom Menace for Darth Maul and the fight. Like,
it was probably one of the worst ones of the entire series.
And Duel of Fates is such an iconic song, Like, anyway, I'm not doing this. This isn't a Star Wars show.
Okay.
So I just think
Obi-Wan's coming soon. I can't wait. Just saying.
There we go.
But I think ranking them and all, it is what it. I think it is what it is. I just think I like it. I don't know. 45 minutes for a series finale. I just think that's weak. I think that's weak. I think that's a shame.
I agree.
I'm gonna.
I would have liked a full hour.
Yeah, we're gonna see this. We're gonna see this. If it's the weakest season finale had to be Game of Thrones, so we're gonna see if it's gonna beat that. So we don't know yet. So we'll see.
Listen, Game of Thrones was 10 years of my life, man. Please.
Game of Thrones is a soft spot, and I will always love it, regardless of how it ended.
Have you watched it again since it finished? Exactly.
I've watched season 1 through what's the last season number?
8?
8. Okay. 8. I watched season 1 through 7 several times.
Okay.
However, season 8 wasn't my favorite, and I will rewatch it before I watch.
But when I ask you this question, when you've rewatched seasons 1 through 7 multiple times, was that after the 2019 finale?
No.
Just watch until like the last season.
Yeah.
No, because every time the new season started, I rewatched the previous one.
I did the same thing.
There was always something new that I didn't realize or foreshadowed. It was just so great.
Listen, Val, you didn't know me at the peak of Game of Thrones.
No, Seabass knows me. I was every time anyone won anything at work for Game of Thrones related, I was soliciting. What do you need for that? Like I need it. Like I need it now.
Yep. So it was fun getting to watch Val and Tone at 2 different stages of the Game of Thrones. Hype and everything. Like going to go. We had the movie, the viewing nights at Tone's house where we were watching Game of Thrones, and then Val will be at work because we worked at the same spot where they were giving away Game of Thrones merchandise if you won the contest. And Val will be like, "Yeah, how much do you want for that?"
Game of Thrones Monopoly, a fleece throw, a cup. And we had viewing parties at one of my friends' house, and each of us had like wine goblets that were Game of Thrones related. And I bought the official Game of Thrones, so we all used to drink Jesus juice, and it was just so much fun. He probably has the same one that I have. I think he's gonna go grab it. He's gonna grab it. He is. I'm not gonna get up on camera right now.
We had the HBO. We had the HBO party too.
You guys are coming to New York for the next season, for the next show?
Maybe. What Comic-Con or Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. We can do a watch party. I'm not going to Maze Landing. Yeah.
So I've got this.
Oh, that's not what I was gonna think. Okay, good.
I've got this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jackie got me this.
I have that. Yep, I have that. That's exactly what I have.
Yeah.
Yep, we in case you guys are wondering, our resident Game of Thrones buffs are going to be Val and Tone.
Yep.
They will keep you everything with Game of Thrones. So
Yep.
new season comes out for the prequel series.
Need
So,
that
like-
damn last book.
When we do the inevitable like drinking against livers or whatever the fuck the game was called, we're gonna have to have Val be on Team Game of Thrones, and then we gotta get someone on the other side for Star Wars.
I
Wait,
mean,
I
we
can
could-
do both.
Oh, you both can do both.
yeah.
Oh,
My lore is I'm more lore heavy in Game
I
of Thrones.
know, but what I'm
Lore
saying, what
heavy in
'cause
Game
what
of
I'm
Thrones,
saying
lore
is
heavy in
the
Star Wars.
other
I'm like,
team, I constructed questions for both of you guys to answer. Not one does this and one does the other.
Is that another challenge to Sketchfed? Because you're gonna have to find that means that Charlie and Sean are gonna have to find a third man. So
So anyway, so I don't know if we commented here. So Michelle has never watched Game of Thrones. Now, is that a personal choice, or were you just turned off by some of the stuff?
yeah, I had a friend who was turned off by some of the sexual stuff, and I'm like, grow up, But I won't say her name, but eventually she got into it because once I convinced her, like, it's so great. No, it's just so gory. Oh my god! Shut up.
I mean, it's like most HBO shows at that time, though. Like there was so much nudity and sex in the first season.
It's not
and
as
then
bad
it
as
dies
True
down.
Blood.
True Blood was like a porno.
Yes.
True
Blood
wild.
season 1
Does
was like
HBO has
wild.
anything that good anymore? Do they have anything that good anymore?
Listen.
Peacemaker.
Listen. True Blood season 1. I remember when me and Jackie were dating. I was like, babe, you gotta watch True Blood. It's really good. And she was like, what the fuck am I watching? I was like, no, it's not for that. It's not
Right. It's actually really good. It just happens to be part of it.
Didn't True Blood come out around the time of Twilight? Didn't it?
Maybe a little bit after, but it was around the time vampires was very popular. So
yeah, we watched it for a while, and then there was a big shift in it was a big shift in the budget for it. Let me see.
Yo, do you see the disdain in Tone's voice when he said that?
Well,
it was
his whole face went.
No. I can. Everyone can do the bill. Suck it.
Yeah.
No, when you said the change in the budget,
there was no.
That's the part that you were like.
There was, because remember, True Blood was the height of HBO. Then Game of Thrones came in, and Game of Thrones eventually was like, we got to pay for these dragons.
Yep.
So who's getting taken out? True Blood took the hit, and we got flying fucking vampires. And there's this one scene where like Bill flies when he becomes a god, and it looks like he's just floating up into the sky, like he really isn't trying to fly. We're like, that's when the point with me and Jack, like, that's when the budget shifted over to Game of Thrones. It was just dumb.
There was some parts that was a bit much.
And there was a vampire disease pandemic, and I was like, I can't with this last season.
They lost me when Snooki was like, I'm a fucking fairy. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
when it turns into
that's what it was. Wait, first for Twilight, books are actually very well done. The books?
No.
The books?
No.
I didn't read them, so
I read them all.
I have no opinion.
I read them as the movies were coming out. I read them all.
Fanfics?
And I'm sorry?
No. 50 Shades of Grey is a fanfic of Twilight.
Oh.
We got to listen. If we're going to
but Twilight is also a fanfic of something.
No.
If I'm not mistaken.
No. 50 Shades of Grey, which was originally called Masters of the Universe, was a fan fiction.
What's called what?
Look it up. It may not be Masters. It may not be Masters with an S, but it's Masters. Look it up.
I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google it because I've never heard it.
Yeah.
Listen. When I heard that was a fanfic of Twilight, I was like, what was the writer on? Anyway, let's get into Halo.
Hold on. We will get into Halo, but
we will. But
Master of the Universe
research needs to be done.
Yeah,
Master of the Universe.
It's a fanfic
from a Twilight fanfic series originally titled Master of the Universe.
Belle Swan is drafted in to interview the reclusive, enigmatic Edward Cullen, multimillionaire CEO of his company, in an encounter that will change her life irrevocably, leading her to a dark realms of desire and all this. Anyway, yes, it is a fanfic of 50 Shades of Twilight. I didn't read the Twilight books. I didn't watch the movies. Yes, Michelle. 50 Shades of Grey is originally came from a fan fiction of Twilight.
Yep.
Yes.
Which
Yep,
means
I
anybody
know
can
why I
make it.
thought it was a fanfic, because people make the connection that Harry Potter and Twilight have some sort of fanfic connection.
But it's only because of the actor, Patterson.
No, it's something else. I only know this because I dealt with high school teens who like read all this stuff when I was still teaching swim, and they were just in the Word app. What's the Wattpad? Something. Whatever the thing is where they write a bunch of fanfics in it. Like in it.
It's not saying that Twilight was.
Snitch Law was with the cards on Big Host. I mean, that's fair.
Steady.
50 Shades of
50 Shades of
Grey.
Grey,
Yes.
Yep, it's a fanfic.
I like it less now. I don't know if you should like it in the first place.
What, even 50 Shades?
I
or
mean,
Twilight?
whatever. To each
I
his own.
enjoyed
To
them.
each his own. I'm not.
I enjoyed them.
I didn't read the Twilight books. I'm not gonna watch the movies, but I got nothing to say against it.
I enjoyed the books, and because I enjoyed the books, the movies were okay. I hate Kristen Stewart, if I'm saying.
Yeah,
I hate
that's
her.
it.
I hate her with a passion. I don't. She's worse than Natalie Portman. It's just
God damn!
I think
Yo!
Kristen Stewart is probably the worst actress that I've ever seen in my entire life, and I don't understand why people love her.
Have you seen her in anything else aside as Bella Swan?
Wow!
Have you seen her in anything else aside from being
Of course,
Belle?
I've seen her in everything else. She's freaking sucks. She's the same person. Don't get me started on her. Kristen Stewart, whatever the fuck her name is, she's just not a good actress. Period.
All right.
Just saying.
And that was a Val soapbox moment.
All right.
Wow, Val's soapbox. Is that what we're doing now?
That's what we're
Screw you
doing.
guys.
Listen, we all have one. You know, mine's Berserk. You know, once I start
Oh my
raving about Berserk, you know.
She's just not a good actress. I'm just saying.
All right.
All right. So yeah, we were running
Oh
all
my
through
God,
it.
hold on.
Let's get into Halo. We got
Let's
3 episodes of Halo. It's a transition.
Oh my God, Michelle.
We have fucking derailed so
Hold on.
much.
There we go. There you go.
Thank you, Michelle. See, I know she understands me.
Yo, Michelle being at bat for fucking Val all day.
Even in she just can't pull off anything. She's the exact same
Nothing
person
wrong.
in every single movie that she's done. I just don't understand.
Are we serious right now?
Yo, I don't even know enough about Berserk to know
Are we
anything.
serious right
Oh
now?
my yo,
What's Griffin?
yo, Michelle is
No,
a
not
villain.
doing it. Not
Michelle
doing it.
is a villain right now.
Berserk.
Yo, that's so foul.
The first series for Berserk was
Yo,
great. The last series,
yo.
it was like, where the
No,
fuck did the
she's not
budget
even
go?
talking- she's not even talking about that. She's talking about that Griffith did nothing wrong by sacrificing everyone and everything that he loves to the Godhand. Oh my, Michelle, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yo, she's poking the bear.
Listen, listen. I'm not an emotional person. And I don't get attached to people, but that shit was fucked up.
I guess I've got to watch Berserk.
Yes,
my
you do. You
God.
gotta watch the original series.
Oh,
The original series.
oh my god.
Oh, man. Listen,
Berserk.
Kong,
Man,
it's
Berserk
good.
was
It's
Yeah.
good.
I'm so
Yeah, you value. It's one of those
Oh my
animes. When you
God.
watch the classic anime, you're gonna love it. It's one of those animes you want to
Watch
have.
the
in your
classic anime and the Netflix in the 3 movies,
Okay.
or the classic anime from the 90s, or the 3
You
movies.
guys got to create a list of all the stuff I have to watch because there's just so much.
By guys, you mean me and Law, right? Not see.
Yes,
life.
yes. That's
Hey,
exactly what I
yeah.
mean. You think I trust Siva's opinion?
Seabass, you want to leave? I'll take you out, Seabass. I'll take you out. I'll take you out. It's fine. It's fine. Like, Seabass, collect yourself. She was coming.
I'm
strong.
joking. I'm joking. I love you.
Oh wait, now they
Seabass.
got
I
Michelle.
love you.
Now,
I
now
love
they got,
you.
Now we got Michelle saying, "Don't watch Berserk." What's going on here?
I love you, Seabass.
Oh
I
my
love you, Seabass.
lord.
Listen. I do
Lord.
one bad
What
anime
kind of day is
episode.
it today?
One bad anime episode. And I'm like, yeah, you.
We'll just say one. Fine, no problem.
It was bad. They
Damn.
were bad. They were the bottom of the barrel.
Just-
Yo,
Thank you,
this
Michelle.
was like a real bad opposite day.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man.
Well,
All right, let's talk Halo.
Let's
Okay.
let's get to the main event. Halo.
So what is episode? We're talking three,
About the last
4, 5, and
episode.
6, right?
4, 5, and
4, 5, and 6. Which
Okay.
I'm fucking loving this series so far. I first of all that at last week's episode with the battle scene.
Oh, episode 5, yeah, it was a good battle scene. That's kind of what I want from this show. It's kind of what I want. I just want to see Master Chief just fucking some Covenant up, man.
Oh, you got the brute at the end.
We got to see different Covenant now. We finally got to see different types. I don't know. Don't quote me on the names.
So the jackals, the grunts, the brute.
Yeah.
What was the huge guy at the end who took the artifact?
The monkey.
Brute.
Yeah, it's
He's a brute. Okay.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I didn't even notice it was a monkey.
Same. I just saw a big motherfucker who looked like
with a hammer. So a big motherfucker with a hammer.
That motherfuckers used to come at you in the game.
That's what he was. 100% Black Air Force energy.
I wanted you in the game. You ran.
Yeah, because you don't see because they do the close up really quick. But like I saw when he knocked him with the hammer, I was like, oh, we getting brutes. All right.
Yeah,
pretty much until we finish Halo. So I don't know, probably like 11.
Are you Steady? Are you sending Big's raid over here?
I mean, we're still going live, Steady. We're still going live.
I mean,
I'm sure we'll derail somehow.
I think Big is almost done with his. So if you send it, send it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll derail. Like between this week and next week. Next week's gonna be an extra long episode. So
real quick, can you just remind me where did episode 4 start so I can think the time frame we're discussing?
Episode
was this
the big to do for episode 4 was when what's her name went back to her home planet.
Yeah. Quan.
Was that's it coinciding with also Master Chief going to his home planet?
Yeah.
Well, he went back to base.
He went to his home planet.
He was at his home planet and he was getting the visions that
that's
Halsey...
when Halsey was in his house and he's like, you were here, you're lying to me. That's when he figures it out.
Episode 5.
5 was when they were trying to.
Episode 5 is the battle, and then episode 6 he goes through the entire thing and ends up on Halo. Yeah, like vision.
Is that what that was?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea. I'm like, what's the significance?
That was the Halos are
we got throw out so much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So the Halos.
Understand I'm a noob with the Halo, but I am super enjoying this show. I think that it is more exciting. I will give that over Moon Knight. And then because it's something so new to me, I really love the character development. Kai, is that her name? The other Sentinel? Her growth and the character, like you see a distinct difference from her being a Spartan, cold, very no expression, to now she smiles. Her eyes are more excited with wonder about everything she's experiencing as if it was the first time. And it's probably, I really love her character growth so far. I don't know where they're going with Quan. I'm so disinterested with that story. And Master Chief, I freaking love.
I don't give a shit about Quan. I don't care about Quan. I don't care about Magical. I don't need it.
I was gonna bring that up. Like, how do you guys feel about this like whole subplot with Magical and all this stuff? Because I feel like it's there to like add more to this plot. But if we didn't have it at all, I would have missed it. It would be a solid story.
It doesn't do anything. Like the whole point of the Spartans was to bring in the planets from the outer rims, right? That was kind of what the Spartans' original purpose was. The UNSC would use them to bring in the outer rims because of all this stuff going on. Because the Covenant is happening, that entire purpose goes out the window. And so I don't give a shit about this planet, and it could get glassed for all I care, and and it would be whatever.
But now they're part of the UNC anyway because her father's dead.
Governor, yeah,
right. And like I'm not understanding the point of her story right now. And then with
see, I thought she was.
What did Pong call him? Fat Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, Fat Dave Chappelle. Yeah.
Like I thought they were going to use her, and she was going to be like a future Spartan. Because like in the games, the Spartans aren't just kids; like they end up being like soldiers and stuff. And like she would kind of shadow or be a part of UNSC and maybe become a Spartan down the line. I don't know. I didn't expect.
We don't know where to go with this character.
Magical thing is, and I think it's silly. I think it maybe is just to give some kind of maybe
attachment.
Dave Chappelle at home.
Oh yes, thank you, Paul. See, I knew it was something with Dave Chappelle.
Dave
Big
I
Chappelle.
think
C,
it's
what's going on?
designed
The raid is
to give
officially
us.
coming in.
Yay! Hi,
What's
welcome.
going on? Everybody from Big Channel, Big Steady, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Love you guys so very much. Sassy, what's going on? Oh, it's the
Michelle,
squad.
it is
Paramount,
on,
Michelle.
It's on Paramount Plus.
Mhm.
Yep. And it's again, it's been pretty
Halo.
good. That subplot though, I would drop it. I mean, you
I would
didn't
cut
miss
it.
anything with the subplot, but I mean, if you really think about it, we haven't seen Quan in the last 2 episodes.
No, we don't.
No,
we just don't. We don't
It's
need
a
it.
waste. I think that whole storyline. There's no.
It's stupid.
I don't see the point of it. It was if they were good enough to introduce us to the Spartans and coming down and then killing everything. Great. We got to see some of the action very first episode. After that, what is your purpose?
Mm-hmm.
I just
Except to get the rest of her people killed. Like I think it's the biggest flaw in the show.
Yeah, that's the only biggest flaw. But I do love the development that we're getting with Chief because it's like, again, Porn Stash, that's who he played in was it Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
I think it's great to see that transition from what he played from the Orange is the New Black to being the main character in the show. And he is really, I feel, doing giving Master Chief a lot of justice. He's been the perfect actor to play that role as this character. I know
a friend of mine said he thinks that they made him soft. I'm like, how else was he supposed to be?
I mean,
if you're supposed to build on a character, you can't do what the video game gives you on a TV show.
Also, too, it's like you're seeing a different transition. Like he was this character that was emotionless, and now they removed that. So it's like, again, we're seeing a type of growth in the character because he's still a badass.
He wasn't emotionless. He had a personality. He was just, but like his only person he got to talk to was Cortana, and like I love Cortana because like we're getting more of her snark because she's really fucking sassy and snarky to Chief in the games. And so like when she gave that comment of like, he's like, I can't hear myself think. He's like, well, I can. There isn't much to talk about.
Much going on there.
Yes, I need all of that because that's the relationship that they have. And obviously, like this woman who plays Halsey and Cortana, she's been doing this character since 2003, so it just comes off as natural to her. But that relationship is so key for the show to keep moving. I like that they're bringing it in slowly but surely. Like he doesn't fully trust her, or he's still kind of annoyed by her, and then she ends up being like his best friend, or like not lover in a sense, but like his conscience, his person. And when he doesn't have her, it's noticeable. But I think everything else is great. It's just this one subplot, unfortunately, that I think is a waste. And I need the planet. I need the planet to go bye-bye. Like that's kind of what I need.
I don't know if it's intended to give us an emotional.
Gonna happen. Like Madrigal is just like there for no reason.
Well, I believe Madrigal is there. I don't remember it. I think it's in the books. It takes a role in one of the books. I can't recall, but it's like
it's gonna get glassed.
Like to be honest with you, the planet it should have been. I think it should have been Harvest. So Harvest is the first planet that the UNSC finds out about the Covenant. So like in the Fall of Reach, you talk about how Harvest went dark, and then there's a book called the Fall of the something Harvest or something. Sergeant Johnson's actually in there. It's like you kind of find out about Sergeant Johnson.
Is this the same planet where the girl who's like the chosen got picked up from?
No, that's a different planet. Harvest is literally like it's a harvesting planet. Like there's a lot of grains and all this. It's the first planet that gets glassed and wiped out by the Covenant. So
yeah,
facts. Absolute facts.
Well, I'm also loving McKee's character.
He doesn't need conscious. He sees Covenant. Covenant.
That's what we got in episode 5. His conscience took him back, so he was like, "Oh, I see Covenant. I'm gonna fuck these motherfuckers up." And Chief did that. We got him fucking it. The battle scenes.
First he was like, "I'm going after her." Like, fuck the artifact. Like, she's out there. Like,
right. He can't let her die.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's Chief.
Yeah.
Like that's Chief. I don't.
But I don't think that was Chief prior to him removing the pellet.
Yeah, he was.
The goal at the end of the day, prior to the pellet, was you follow orders.
Yeah.
The mission is first, and now we have a different perspective, and we are getting to see that. I think that's more of a character development thing, and I love what they're doing with it so far.
we're seeing them not becoming a puppet, because if he kept that chip in him, he would have been a puppet for the military, and they're trying to show that this is how he became who he is, the Master Chief that we all know and love, because he's like, and even in the games, he's not a puppet to the military. He's like, I see, like Steady said, I see Covenant, I'm gonna fuck him up, because Covenant is the fucking bad guys. I'm liking McKee's character too. It's like, it's a nice added dynamic.
Which one's McKee?
Who's McKee's?
McKee, Charlie Murphy, actress plays her. That is the chosen one for the Covenant.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And her whole story, I think, is probably one of the better news stories that they created for the show. And then her connection with Chief, and then I like the fact that you ended with that, with them both looking at Halo like they're both like, holy shit. So it's like, it's going to be interesting where they continue to take her character. Like, is she going to be someone loyal to Chief, or is she going to be purely loyal to the Covenant? Is she the person who leads the Covenant to Reach? Like, so it's going to be interesting where that dynamic goes with that character. But it's just, again, I've been loving this show more than Moon Knight. I think
she'll inadvertently lead the Covenant to Reach, and I think that this connection she's going to have with Chief is going to turn into something.
It has to build first, because right now I think she's just setting them up. I think the intention is to get Covenant to Reach, and she probably will regret it after, because of the relationship she builds with Chief.
Yeah,
I think she does it on purpose, because she's been brainwashed to think that she has a different purpose and she hates humans. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that she's going to be a strong character throughout. However, we'll see.
I mean, I like her character better. Like, nothing against Quan. I like her character better than Quan's.
I don't got nothing against Quan. I just think Quan's subplot is nonsensical.
Yeah,
and it's a waste of 30 minutes for me. Like, I didn't care for episode 4 when she's going to see her family, and then they all get taken out by this assassin, and now she's stuck in a fucking motorcycle.
Gotta have something more. What if she's another one of those special family bloodline who can also access the power of the artifact, and they just don't know it yet?
That, or she ends up becoming, like how someone said, a future Spartan, because I can see her entering that program with that. Because what else does she have left? Madrigal. She has no people to follow her. She does it. All her followers are particularly dead, and she is a dead person staying on that planet.
Yeah.
What if? This is just me thinking now off the top of my head. McKee manipulates Master Chief, gets him to see her way, and Quan is the one who brings him back to normal, or back to his senses.
We'll see. I mean, that could be, but they would have to. I mean, first of all, they have to figure out how to get off Madrigal, because it doesn't look like she wants to leave. This dude just got his ship stolen, Jawa style, because it's like, Madrigal definitely has to.
Sorry. Oh, my bad. Okay. Someone's like, yeah, that's never happening. I get it. Okay, fine.
I'm not saying he's not going to manipulate her. I'm not, because when you say manipulate to hit her side, I don't think he'll ever convert, but I think he'll hear her out in the fact that, like, humans are using him. I think that's the crisis he's going through right now, because of the truth he got of where he comes from, and we got the whole thing with the kids and the decoys and everything with Halsey, and trying to figure out, like, that scene when he puts Halsey in the radiation chamber, and
right now,
that chamber scene was intense.
Right now, McKee's the only one who's kind of giving any answers. So yeah, I feel like that's the bridge that she's building there, and he's still not. What?
The Spartan 2,
I'm sorry.
Spartan 2s
Steady,
are...
let me just give you a disclaimer. Yeah. I know nothing. I'm just learning from the show. My bad.
So Spartan 2s are like your OGs. It's like Master Chief, Kai, like this whole squad. That's the OG. The rest are like the ones in like Halo 4, Halo 5. Like when all these random motherfuckers are Spartans, that's that.
Got it. So not the genetically enhanced super soldiers. They're just regular people.
I mean, I think they have some enhancements, but like they're just not they're not OG Spartan 2s. Like that's
it should be. Hi, Michelle. They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, the Spartans
this show is actually better
than expected.
Yeah,
like
you
watch those opening 18 minutes and you're like, oh shit, I'm in for something real. And then look, as much as I had said that I really enjoyed episode 5 because we got the battle, the fact that we're not getting huge firefights like all the time, and we're getting more content, like the firefights feel more earned.
Yeah,
right.
And
I agree.
And then I like the character development because even like when you're seeing how they develop Halsey, and then you see that you have that moment that you can tell like she's being a mother, but at the same time she's still manipulating her daughter.
Villain
What she
behavior.
wanted to get. It's like she just
Halsey
looked at
ain't
her daughter. Yo,
She's a mother. She ain't a mother. She's like, there's no.
Halsey ain't shit. Fuck that
Yeah.
bitch. I'm sorry.
it's it just you think that there would be this moment of her. Nope. Halsey's is still fucking Halsey. But no, that scene that he locks her in the room, the whole radiation scene, that was an intense scene. That was a great way to episode.
That was some shit.
And I was like, I'm just testing out your Cortana unit, her limitations. I was like, yo.
Like what?
She's like, I can't stop you. I can't
What a
stop
way
you.
to do it. What a way to be like, yo, if this is how we're gonna run this, bet, let's go for it. That was the best, like, I'm gonna play chicken ever.
Right.
Because like how do you now like recover from that? If you're Halsey, you're like, shit. Not only did he want to throw hands with me, as soon as he touched the artifact the first time, the second artifact the first time, he immediately like lunged after her. And he's saying like, yo, like you're not telling me the truth. And like I know what's happening. The fucking artifact's telling me the truth. Now I fucking locked you in a chamber, almost killed you, let you live because I could let you live.
Yeah,
a fucking yo. She better fucking be on hands and knees and be like, oh, I'm sorry.
Well, she dies soon, doesn't she?
No.
She doesn't die in the Fall of Reach?
No.
Hell
I
no.
feel like Halsey is
Halsey stays even
for
in
a
the later.
while.
She shows she's like in Halo 4 or 5.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, like she's Halo
I thought
4. I
everybody
remember
dies in the Fall of Reach.
No,
like,
no. Like a lot of people die. A lot of people.
There's a lot of death.
Like there's a whole lot of death because the entire planet dies.
Lies to game arts.
The planet dies, but like they get off the ship. So like Captain Key, like they're not. I don't think they're doing it this season. Just the way everything's playing out, they're not going to do it this season. But eventually, like they all get Master Chief to the Pillar of Autumn, which is Captain Key's ship, and it's one of the last ships to leave and go. And they go to the Halo ring.
Question. Never mind, I forgot my question. Go ahead.
I was just thinking that this will be interesting if this season was a setup for season 2 to be an entire season about the Fall of Reach and we get more characters, start seeing people, and like season 2 is.
I mean, it'd be cool because there should be more Spartans and like there's gonna be other missions. You're gonna start seeing we're gonna start seeing Spartans die because that's the thing. Like, there's a difference when the Spartans as kids.
Kai better not die. I love her already. She better not die, bro. I would be so disappointed if they kill her.
Like that's the thing. Like,
what's the other guy's name that he was like? Why are you asking me that question?
With your popcorn. Steady out here with popcorn, not saying a goddamn thing.
What's the guy? The dark the black guy with the that she asks him, have you ever put any thought to something? And he's like, why are you asking that dumbass question?
Spartan Vanek.
Yeah.
Okay, he can die.
I mean, if she's playing Linda doesn't die. It is though.
Game of Thrones of space.
It's so good. So everybody dies is what you're telling me.
It's not
that hasn't even watched the show.
No, so like it's not even like that everybody dies in Reach. Everybody dies one by one in like really like fucked up ways until the very end. And even your main character dies because your entire point is to hold off the Covenant while they get Master Chief into the Pillar of Autumn. Like that's how your character story ends. You're fighting all these Covenant, and the game is like
the game is like your Hordor right there. That's pretty much
Hordor. Yeah.
I knew where you were going to that.
Oh yeah,
that's funny. Do we know how many episodes we're supposed to get for this season?
9. It's 9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have 3 more.
3 more to go.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I like it because
they season 2, or are they still like waiting?
I'm sure they're gonna get it.
Yeah, they're gonna get it. They're probably gonna wait till the series is done, and because Paramount Plus is they've been doing really well with shows like Star Trek and Yellowstone. They're most likely going to announce a season 2 for Halo with this.
Yeah,
and
this is I think this is gonna be their
next original
to get everybody in. Because I think Star Trek is really good, and it can get a lot of people who even aren't like
Star Trek was a good one to get people to start Paramount Plus.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Like they started with Discovery and then Picard, and then Discovery and Picard got picked up for their seasons. Discovery's been really great. Picard was really good. A lot of people are loving Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, which now
I heard about that. I'm gonna check it out. I didn't know it was on Paramount.
Season 5 is coming out this summer. You can watch the first 4 seasons, I think, on Peacock or anything like that.
What,
But
Yellowstone?
yeah, Yellowstone season
I
5.
thought it was on Paramount.
Season 5 is going to be on Paramount because it's their show. But the first few
Got
seasons you can get on anything else. But they also have their prequel show, which is 1870 something, which is on
Yeah.
Paramount Plus. So Halo, maybe from where it's looking at how the budget too was put for the show, because the special effects budget, it's probably going to increase.
I hope so, because there's some parts where I'm like,
That's what I was talking about.
but
when we
other
first
parts are
talked
like,
about it.
oh shit.
Like it feels fine for what it is. I'm not ragging on it, but it can be better.
Absolutely. Like if they definitely gave it at least a damn, who has a good sci-fi budget? Like TV sci-fi budget that we've watched.
Star Trek so far.
That isn't Marvel, because Disney got the money to do fucking whatever they fucking
I
want.
think Expense. I
Expense,
never watched
yeah.
Expense, but I would assume Expense because Expense got Amazon money.
True. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know things about TV.
I feel like Paramount is a big enough studio, and so is Microsoft to like.
Well, Paramount also is the owners of CBS. They have Showtime, so they're definitely gonna invest in show.
It's Showtime. They get Showtime money because it even says Showtime Presents.
Currently.
Well, it was high budget because when it went over to Amazon, because it finished on Amazon, so it got that Amazon money.
Also, too, from what I learned from what they did with the recent season with Star Trek Discovery, they actually created a whole studio space with nothing but screens around them. That really was like a way of creating different environments without having, to go. It was just nuts. It's like, I forgot how many screens. It was like HD LED screens and everything that they were able to create, like the spaceports and all that. Like you see like the ships moving in, so it's like looked like stuff was happening in real time.
Oh, I've seen that in its early development. So when I went to CinemaCon in like 2016 or 17, it's basically 3 long ass screens that like wrap around. So you have view on your left and right and view right in front of you.
This was more than that.
Entire thing. No, I'm saying this is before that.
Yeah.
So I know the technology where it is now. It's going to give you the whole thing. It's basically, you're going to look and you're watching. You would watch everything as if it was here, and it's not that it's stretched out. They shot it so that it can be like, you can look here and there's a whole whatever's happening here and whatever's happening here. It's fucking wild as shit.
Also, too, I asked.
God damn it,
but yeah, no. At the end of the day, it's gonna get its budget. It's gonna get a season 2 because with the way how the show is going, and then
the popularity continues to grow.
They have a strong cast. They have good writing. They have a completed source material, which is always good for a series like this.
And the cast, and also too, you've Kate Kennedy. That's who plays Spartan K. There you go, Kate Kennedy. That's the actor.
That's Kai.
Yeah. Kai.
She's my favorite Spartan outside of Master Chief. Yeah, as I'm just saying. I think more so because she's also removed the pellet, and I'm able to see visually like her change in character and her wonder with
with her
process. I just like it a lot.
Oh, hold up.
No?
They renewed. See, they renewed it early.
Oh, so they're already getting a season 2.
This is on deadline. This was in February that this was renewed for a season 2 by Paramount Plus.
Oh, so weird. So it's probably already
they renewed it before it released.
Which is probably why we're not getting Reach to be burnt out. Because that would have been like, we need to have a reason to have a season 2. Let's destroy Reach. Like now, so Reach will probably get destroyed next season.
Right,
okay.
And we probably see
Which
the fall, and then
or in the middle of the season, and we get a little bit of the Halo. Like it would be.
Yeah, I want way more of the Halo and everything else. Completed source material doesn't always mean a good show. Cough. Eddie, listen.
Steady. We could say
that's a whole nother.
Listen. When
we really want to go in live adaptions.
You've got 500 fucking episodes. It's doomed to fail.
Yeah.
Believe it, like
I'm gonna remove Tony for that one.
It's not the Bayou.
You know, I mean, like,
Oh my
yo, you
God.
can't even do Full Metal Alchemist, and that's just 60 episodes. Like,
Oh my God.
I'm done with the pipe dream of anime live action. Let's stop this pipe dream. Just stop it.
I'd rather they not touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can leave it alone.
Or just 26 like beep. But that's also because Netflix just be canceling shit because it doesn't care about any of its properties.
Too soon now, you know, it's not too soon, steady.
No, I'm sorry. It doesn't care about any of its properties that's led by minorities. Okay, anyway.
I'm taking myself.
Wow.
Listen, we know there has not. Oh, some people are saying Rurouni Kenshin has been doing pretty well. So
Rurouni Kenshin?
Rurouni Kenshin, it's
Rooney.
Rurouni.
Macaroni Kenshin.
I'll
It never fails. It
Oh,
never
it
fails.
does. It's gonna be something I'm gonna butcher. That's it. Just call me Seabass the Butcher. There you go.
You're just trying to give yourself
Yo,
a cool
so
nickname.
what's funny
Call me
one day-
Steve Bass the Butcher. Like,
butcher
you
of
know,
names,
because I
like-
butcher names, but no one says that.
one day he's gonna come upon like a name that's impossible for the three of us to fucking say, and he says it flawlessly, and we're all looking at him like,
Doubt that.
the fuck
I
did this
doubt
come
that.
from?
I have no faith in that ever coming.
The
happening.
butcher.
There
The
you go.
Butcher? How about Seabass the phonetic fuck up?
Oh
I'm sorry.
my god! Yo,
I'm sorry. It was
Yo.
right there. I love you. I love you.
God
Macaroni
damn.
Kitchen. I don't know what he was talking about.
Holy shit!
Oh, man.
And this is why you tune into Nerds.
Oh, my
Yes,
goodness. I love
every
you, man.
Tuesday
I
at
love
9 p.m.
I
Eastern
love you.
Standard to get all
But-
of this.
you.
Ah,
The phonetic. Yes. Yes.
good lord!
In all seriousness, though, so like, but isn't Kenshin like done in Japan though? Like, isn't the live
It's
action
been done. Yeah, it's like it was like 3
Like, it's not done by American studios.
Well, Full Metal Alchemist wasn't done by American Studios either. It was okay.
That was a
but-
movie.
Yeah, it was a movie.
Kenshin is a live action show.
It's a live action movie on Netflix,
Okay.
and it's not done by American.
Look, I think it depends on the source material too, because like I think Kenshin is pretty much grounded.
Yeah.
In what it's about, so you can make a story about it. But like,
It was fucked
you
up
know.
because the Full Metal Alchemist show. The reason we didn't get a lot of Ed was because what was it? It's because the budget. They didn't have enough in the CGI budget to continue to animate him through the scene, so that's why we got a lot of Rinri in the show.
We lost Val.
Val's having tech issues herself.
Yo, this is
It's been the episode of just tech issues about
Tech issues. She's coming.
about tech.
It's Technical Tuesday. That's what it is. Technical Tuesday.
Apparently, man. Apparently.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
But as far as things go, like I would love to see at some point a true adaptation of some anime. But it is a pipe dream. I 100,000% know that it's a pipe dream. It really, really honestly depends on the source material. So if you have
it depends
a
on the
shonen,
studio.
don't do a shonen.
I don't think they should do a shonen. I don't think they should still do any don't touch anime because they failed so many times. However, the closest thing that we'll get, I think, will probably be The Last Airbender.
All right, Steady. All right.
Listen. It cannot.
What were you
Last
saying about-
Air-
I'm sorry.
The last Airbender was interesting because the original showrunners stepped off the piece, but I think that's because they're doing their own Avatar universe with Nickelodeon, with Viacom.
I
It's
also think they had a little with like what
Creative
they were-
differences.
Yeah.
With Netflix?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because they were on
That's
it,
scary.
and then they
'Cause
decided to step
'cause,
away from it.
Fun fact: they try to cast an authentic Aang, like for I
A
forgot
monk?
what. Stop it! Anyway, they basically try to. I think they wanted like an indigenous actor, and his parents lied about him being indigenous. So like that
Okay.
was one of the many things. Like apparently he's like just some regular white kid or whatever the case was, and everyone was like, "What? You do Death Note like you really Defoe?" Even then, I don't know. Wait, put it on my tombstone. Leave anime as.
I agree. Leave anime as
like-
anime.
It's like Mr. Incredible. Anime is anime is anime.
I need that as like a shirt now or a meme. Amazing.
I
Yeah.
mean, look, I just think it's. I think it's harder. I think Cowboy Bebop was a missed opportunity. I didn't watch it for whatever it was, but I think Cowboy Bebop was a missed opportunity because that was the one to do it with.
We don't talk about it.
You don't
We
talk
don't
about Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball.
About Dragon Ball.
Here.
Okay, no, we don't talk about that.
That was Dragon. No, yeah, it was.
I want Outlaw Star because I want to see ship battles. You know, I think that would be cool. You know, but I think we're getting Isn't Netflix doing Gundam? Like, aren't we getting that?
Netflix should just stop. Netflix should just stop
Well,
butchering what we like.
if they keep losing subscriptions the way that they are, they've lost like a third of their subscriptions and or something like that. In like
what's crazy is that people are like, yeah, because they pump out all this shit that no one wants to watch. Like
pump out shit that no one wants to watch.
Like we got
one person to stream is like I think $17 at this point.
Yeah.
And they're being like whatever that password shit, which I know isn't gonna fly, but they're gonna try to figure out how to fucking make it fly. They're just shooting themselves in the foot.
I don't know, man. Like you got a couple shows that are driving money. So like Ozark's just the final season the final half of the season for
Ozark's a good show. I got to get back into that.
So we finished that. We finished that yesterday. We're finally getting Stranger Things, but that cash cow's
Samurai Champloo gets allowed. This is a live anime. I'm showing up to Netflix.
All I gotta say is this: you want to solve the Netflix problem, you want to solve the subscriber problem. Create a tier with ads like Hulu's been doing for years, and you get your money off of those who want to put ads on your stuff. Because I know what? Because
they were thinking about it.
Yeah, do that. That was because you charge the advertisers. Hey, pay me to advertise on my fucking service. And if people don't want ads, guess what? They pay extra.
I don't please that. I had Peacock for free from my cable provider.
Yep.
And I was stuck with ads for 3 days, and I said no more.
No, thank you.
I said
people will pay
no more. I can't. I was like, I'm over the ad. It would just piss me off.
He was out here like Wanda. No more ads.
Yes, I was. I was like watching TV. We were watching The Office, and I was like, why the fuck are there ads coming on? And I just went into my phone and I signed up.
Yeah, I get it.
I do charge people to use my Netflix. It's called. Nah, I wish I did. Could you imagine that?
Yo, Soul's face.
I mean, look, I don't know what they're trying. I don't know what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
With Netflix. I think Netflix just
they're gonna lose a lot of people. There's
keeps
so many other
I
streaming
think
services.
all they
They're not
have
the
left
only
is
one
like
in the
Stranger
field no more.
Things and a couple other things.
Well, they keep releasing stuff, and then everyone's pulling their stuff off of Netflix.
Yeah.
To go to their personal
like I think like HBO's got some really solid originals.
You know what's gonna change the game though? It depending on what HBO Discovery does now with that merger.
Mm-hmm.
And if they merge that app together, HBO and Discovery having a lot of originals.
That's been a lot of it. The mergers have been destroying everything. So when Disney bought Hulu, we got what is it?
Well, wasn't that Disney purchased Hulu? Hulu was a funny one because Comcast still has a minority holdings of Hulu because it was Fox, it was Time Warner, it was Disney, and it was Comcast. Those are the 4 major holders of Hulu.
And Disney bought out
and
Fox.
Disney took 3 of those shares.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny how that
They're
works.
majority holder, and they can still do whatever they want. But
Yeah.
So you have that. You have what is it?
Apple Plus,
Crunchyroll Funimation. You have what was Apple? Yeah, Apple Plus, Apple TV, or whatever.
AMC just took High Dive.
Who just took them?
AMC purchased High Dive, which was the other anime streaming app.
Really?
Yeah.
I was wondering where that fucking went.
So like I don't know. Like I just feel like some of these like network streaming ones are harder to digest. Like I don't need AMC Plus.
Right.
Like I was good with Paramount Plus because like Paramount kind of did like a bunch of things. It did movie premieres, it had Nickelodeon, and it had NFL. So it had a lot of things for a lot of people. So like I didn't think I was into a Paramount Plus. It ended up I like Paramount Plus. And Peacock has been great because of all the original shows that were on Netflix.
Right.
Peacock was like, we're taking all our shit back, and that's how we're gonna get people, and it worked.
Also, too, Peacock has the WWE stuff. WWE closed their app and let it merge all. Peacock. So now that's on there, and then they also got Bel Air. And then the other one, what was the other one that was merging? There's just it's a lot of CNN closed their app because again, Discovery put a kibosh on that.
I mean, whoever thought CNN Plus was a good idea though should have been fired.
Yeah. Nobody wants any of that.
I'm not saying there isn't good CNN material. Like,
but I can watch it on CNN. I would
can
never
watch
have
it on
to subscribe
CNN,
to
or
it.
I can, or like like there's this one. I think Stanley Tucci tours Italy. Me and my wife love that show. It's on HBO. It's amazing. It's me watching Stanley Tucci talk to Italians and eat food. What's say less? But no, like I don't need CNN. I caught it too. Pong. He said it. I didn't say nothing, but I let it be. But because you said it,
Bel-Air.
yeah, because again they got Bel Air. I'm like, what?
They also got Saved by the Bell.
Okay, but that's better than Bel Air.
Was Bel-Air that bad? I haven't watched it.
It's okay.
I've
But
heard
did we
that
need a
it's good,
dramatic
but it's
rendition of Bel Air? Like, did we need it?
right.
Did we
I don't
need
think
like
we
Chris
need
Rock
it.
did
However, I thought it was intended to have a more today feel. Is that not
It's for a new
what it
audience,
is?
for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely for a newer audience. It's it does try to do that today feel. It's trying to be serious. It definitely changed up a lot of the characters from what they originally were from the show because
I'm
again,
gonna listen to Michelle. She said she loves it. I'm gonna check it out.
I wouldn't say it's a gritty reboot. It's a different storytelling from how the characters were. Like, I mean, I could spoil one. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to watch. I mean, Carlton has a drug habit in the show.
So it's a gritty reboot.
Yeah,
I heard
it's a
about
gritty
that.
reboot.
So it's a gritty reboot.
It's exactly what Pong just said.
It's Power Rangers Dark.
Yeah, it's a gritty reboot. The trust fund baby got a drug problem. It's a gritty reboot. Like,
Oh my
you know.
God.
Oh, the judge's kid has a drug
So
problem.
is it intended to be more of a drama show rather than a comedy?
Yeah, no, it's tended to be
Sitcom?
more of a drama show than a comedy.
Because I think like the original was a comedy show, but it had
Yeah.
drama and it
Yeah.
had its like
Yeah,
real
but it was a
hit notes.
sitcom. It was
versus
Yeah.
this feels like more of a not Riverdale. It's like a little more serious or
Like a
takes itself
WB
more
show.
seriously.
I mean, I would say no. It's better. I think it's better writing than Riverdale because I was
Absolutely,
watching.
but like the same like level of like constant drama, constant
like
like
a WB show.
Yeah, like the CW shows. Yeah,
Like all these shows.
CW, thank you.
yeah.
I said
It's like it's exactly like that. I didn't think we
Yeah.
needed it. That's all.
But what was it? Yeah, they elaborate more about
Which
him leaving
we
Bel Air.
already know.
You see how he meets Jazz. Jazz was like an Uber driver.
Really?
Yeah, wasn't his best friend.
Did Jazz even have a job in the first one?
No, Jazz just
Not
was
that we
just
ever
just
discussed.
around the house. Yeah, it just Jazz was just his friend. They never explained the relationship. They just assumed that he also came out from to Bel Air with him or something like that. They just really never established that relationship. In this, they established that him and Jazz met as Jazz was his Uber driver driving him to the mansion from the airport. They established that he had another best friend who ends up getting shot in the show.
I was just about to say he got shot. Look at that. Jesus Christ.
But
Okay. So you're telling me I shouldn't watch it?
I'm not saying you shouldn't or should. It's just I've seen.
Who are you?
Do you? I'll tell you
I've
this.
already seen the first
I will
three
not watch
episodes.
it.
So if I
But-
made it one of my requests, you guys are not gonna watch it?
I mean,
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm not watching
And
Bel
then
Air.
you're telling me not to watch it. Got it. Okay.
Listen. Like, I don't, whatever people like, whatever they like, no, nothing against that, but I don't know how I can nerd out about Bel Air. See, I do need to watch C. I know that is one of your requests, and I'm
That
gonna
is
watch
my
it.
request.
I will watch
C
C.
is worth the watch.
I want to
That's on
watch
Apple
C.
Plus.
I know I want to see Raised by Wolves. There's a bunch of shit I want to check out. I haven't.
Apple TV.
Raised.
You guys need to watch, if you can, watch Severance on Apple TV. Severance is so good. But
We have a lot of shit that we keep putting on our
Raised
list.
by
And
Wolves.
I have
we're
a thing
in
that
the
No one's
day.
putting it on the
Look at
list, so
Pog,
then I
look at
have nothing to reference.
I
have
have
a
a
thing.
thing that
We haven't even announced the day.
A thing. Okay, Pong, got it.
Wow.
He's not
So we're gonna ask Pong's hot take on Bel Air.
He's ditching you.
ain't watching Bel Air, man. We ain't
Okay.
doing
All
it.
right, we're not watching
That's fine.
Bel Air.
We're gonna put Michelle on. Michelle's gonna be a guest spot on the show.
Yep.
Yeah,
Give
I
it
mean-
a link and everything. Jump on live. Hot takes.
Yep.
Listen,
My soapbox. Yeah, come join.
I mean, look,
Oh,
if we could find a way, I'd be down for people in the chat that just jump in and say shit, especially during like the Doctor Strange episode.
Doctor Strange episode, I anticipate to have so much fun next week with that. I
That's-
just can't wait. I'm like really, really excited. I have a lot of anticipation for this movie since WandaVision. Even before that. I mean it's just they've been leading up to this movie for a while.
Wait. I'll be like talking about how great it is.
I'm
Sorry,
excited to
Coach.
talk. I'm excited to talk like 2 hours and change about Doctor Strange, and
Yeah, we're gonna
everyone's
be
just
on
like Elizabeth Olsen carries it like always. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying? I've
And
been
people are saying
avoiding.
People saying it's legit scary. It's got that Raimi scary to it. So
I've been avoiding everything that anyone has said. I've been avoiding the newer trailers. I don't want to see anything. I'm just
I'm
sold.
avoiding a
don't go on
lot of
Twitter.
Yep. Twitter.
No, I don't have
They
Twitter.
spoiled so much.
Agreed.
Apparently.
Yeah.
There's
I don't
so
have
much-
Twitter.
There's so much.
I'm
that's
avoiding
been
social
spoiled.
media entirely. You
Yeah.
guys are lucky I'm even
Only-
talking to you guys.
Only trust reliable YouTubers. So I've got a few that I'll listen to because they won't spoil it. Aside from like the stuff we've seen already, but that's about it.
There's
Yeah,
so much stuff that they've
I'm
released so
avoiding.
far.
Avoiding to the 10th power.
All right,
They-
we got
they
we got
released
to wrap.
it
It's
too.
almost 2 hours.
Come on, we got 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Can we do 5 more minutes?
We could do 5 maybe, but
5
it's
more
11
minutes.
o'clock.
Five more
We got
minutes.
we got so much nerdy content, and we only have one day. This
Listen,
is
we
why-
still got 8 people watching us for 2 hours. So
I
clearly,
know.
clearly we're doing something right. You know, so, you know,
Whole
But-
8.
oh man,
whole 8. You know, whole 8 individuals nerding out with us.
But you guys definitely
Right.
want to go back. Yeah, it's been a fun episode.
we appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Definitely do
homies.
appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
next week we're talking Doctor Strange. So come back for that, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
and the
Uh,
final of Moon Knight, which we're
last
probably
episode
Oh,
of Moon
and the
Knight.
finale of Moon Knight. That's right.
and don't forget tomorrow, go watch Catch the Craze because George is launching Wonder Duck. Wonder Duck, quack quack. Oh man, that. And what else do we got, guys? We got some fun stuff coming
Yo,
up.
there's so much shit coming out this year, man. We've got Umbrella Academy, which got surprised announced for us. We've got The Boys.
We
We've
got
got
Love, Death,
Stranger
Robots
Things,
season
Love, Death,
3.
Robots. We've
I gotta
Val,
add that to
Love,
my
Death, and Robots.
list.
Thor:
haven't
Love and
watched
Thunder is the
anything.
summer, right? Or isn't
Yeah.
Thor: Love and
We got
July?
Thor: Love and Thunder. We
Yeah.
have
Obi-Wan,
Lord of the Rings.
Miss
we have
Marvel.
Obi-Wan.
And then we have the Val episode, which again we're going to
we have the
watch
Game
what
of
Val gives us to
Thrones.
watch.
We have shit.
At least Game of Thrones is in August, so we got some time for that.
Got a lot. You
Barely.
guys
I feel like
gotta
there's mad shit
message
happening
me.
in August.
Yeah,
I know.
make a list on Discord. It's easier for me to access.
You made. Didn't you update the list on the Google Doc?
All I did was make a suggestion
Umbrella-
to add C, and
Hold up.
I got added
So,
in.
Umbrella Academy is June 22nd, I believe.
Something
Or
like that.
May 22nd. I mean,
And we're gonna have an anime episode because gotta get back into some anime.
Yo, if
You
you
know,
guys,
I did-
if you guys are not watching Spy X Family,
June 22nd.
you're missing it. Because Spy X Family is amazing. Like it's so fucking good. Everyone was watching it. Everyone was talking about it. And I was like, oh, I'll get around to it eventually. I was mad at how good that show was in the first fucking episode. Like it honestly has no business being that good. Spy X Family, go watch it. Won't recommend. I won't what's the word? Won't be disappointed. There you go. I know words. It's getting late. I'm tired.
So what was the show you said on Apple TV?
Severance.
Thank you.
There we go.
That's how we should end the show. We should always do like one recommendation, like a new thing that we're watching, and we want the
Spy X
the
Family,
viewers to watch.
Severance. Spy X
Val,
Family,
what you got?
Severance. Put me on the spot like that.
You were rattling off names. Go ahead.
I'm making my list of what you guys are telling me to watch.
Fine, see Bass, because you watching all the shit.
I mean, I just finished this anime.
Oh yeah. I have that on my list. Actually, I do have that on my list.
Glove Letter A, actually 13 episodes. How many
Were
episodes?
you afraid to say it out loud? Is
No,
that why? You
yeah, because I've been butchering names of tonight.
Listen, the Bucha.
I am the Bucha.
If you don't know how to pronounce it, you can say it however you want.
Yeah, so
I think
I've
it's
actually-
Lightyear.
I have actually enjoyed it. It's one of the newer animes. It's like 13. It's like 12, 13 episodes. It's a pretty interesting concept that people get to turn into
I
animals.
want to change your name
You
the
want to
Bucha.
change it to Bucha? Yeah, listen, it will change that. That's it. We will have that. We will edit that name.
Next week, we got you. We got you guys.
Next week, I will come on as the Bucha. Sebastian the Bucha, the phonetic fuck up.
You don't need to say the phonetic fuck up. It was.
Oh my god, the phonetic fuck up is the
It was
greatest.
just, too easy not to say. So it had to be known.
So Val, what's your recommendation before we close out?
I mean, the same as last week. C. Until you guys watch it, I want you guys to watch C.
I have to get a way to watch it. You still haven't given it to me.
Oh yeah.
I also still owe you a burrito spot. Never mind.
You got to send the
We're on the same page right now.
non-illegal way to watch the show.
I'll find it.
Of course, we don't endorse illegal ways of viewing content.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
What legal? What? I do everything by the book.
Of course.
3, 2, 1, and time. Wait, you wanted to say something?
You fucking piece of shit.
What was
Yo!
that?
We hit
Oh, you
power.
dirty.
Yeah, but we were doing this whole
You didn't
thing.
tell nobody.
We were doing this whole bit.
That's rude.
What
That
is
rude.
wrong with
That's
you?
rude.
It's past my bed. I'm trying.
Look, Michelle was
Let's
a
hear it,
Anyway,
Michelle.
guys.
Go grab your
Right,
laptop,
Michelle, what's
go grab
wrong
your
with it?
fucking flip flops, your chanclas.
I'm gonna get my
Listen, you gotta go walk
mayonnaise.
Willow anyway. Get some cool air to slap you in the face.
my
You'll be fine.
God. Look,
Everyone's
look.
confused.
Pong's confused. What are you doing? What are you
Like,
doing, Papa?
like 3, 2, 1.
Listen, this
And
is
no
this is-
nothing, no goodbye, not even a heads up, bro.
Like, see
Just
you guys
click off.
next week.
That's why I
Looking
cut it
forward to
off.
see
There you
guys
go.
talking
You
about-
see, I'm just fucking with everybody. There we go. It's Technical Tuesday.
This is
No,
how you
yeah,
get shit taken away from you, Seabass. This is how you get your privileges revoked.
It's Tuesday.
Oh my god.
It's
This has
Tuesday.
been
Welcome
fucking
back.
great.
Guys. Yeah, no. Again, we want to recommend everybody go back, watch the episode, check out our recommendations because we had some good ones.
Yes.
Next week, Doctor Strange and the finals, Moon Knight. Probably gonna talk more about Doctor Strange because I have a feeling that's gonna be taking up most of the episode.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can dedicate about 30 minutes to Moon Knight since we're only getting 45 minutes a show. You know?
Let's see.
Thank you, big, and to everyone who came in with the raid. Much love. Thank you for the support. It's been awesome.
Everyone
Love you guys.
who's watching, come in with questions.
And
hot takes.
Janine, thank
Yes.
you for joining
Thank you
us
for
earlier
sharing.
today.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes,
That was
guys,
awesome.
check that out. Puppet Church. The description is in it. The link is in the description. The comic is free for you guys to read.
Medusa's Cascade every Saturday, we just hit episode 75 this week. It's fucking wild. Holy shit, we're 75 episodes in. Do you realize we're about to go to 120? Bro,
It's gonna happen
100
soon.
episodes of a fucking podcast that
You hit 100
D&D
episodes, you
podcast?
get syndicated.
Jesus.
Listen, I mean, it's been going on. The
I
campaign's
should've
been going on.
switched. Go for it.
Listen, it's over to what I got lost. Sorry. No, it's been going on for 2 years already for this campaign that we've been recording. We want to thank Tommy for putting that together. It's In Beyond Podcast. So basically, you guys go on there's a listen because you hear some crazy fun fucking shit. Eventually, Val will be a guest on it one day. She will be
And
playing
Seabass
maybe
is
a
helping
shop.
work on the animation.
I don't know.
Okay.
Man. My anime still sucks. But I know Phil the animator who is on with that project to be putting out some great stuff. So an animation will be coming about the first episode for Medusa's Cascade. So keep following and beyond. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. And if you love this episode, missed some of it, go right back to the beginning because we have some great stuff that we covered. Subscribe to the channels. Make sure you're following us. Get some updates and everything. Because
Oh shit! By the way, I forgot to say my YouTube channel just hit 100 subs, so I can get a custom URL today. Let's go!
Yay!
Finally!
listen, when you hit that 100,
Milestones.
Oh man, it was awesome.
it feels good. And you're just like, it's just my name. The name. There we go. But yeah, no, again, thank you guys for watching. This has been your boy Sebastian.
It's been your boy Law
And your boy Tone from across the hall.
Value.
with.
And VMAC. I don't have a cool one like you
Yo,
guys.
we gotta work on it. We gotta workshop it.
We got a workshop.
Okay.
Thanks,
All right.
Cam, buddy.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait.
Bye.
Oh, why did it stop?
What is wrong with you?
What are you doing?
What is